Alright, 8th grade scholars. So today we will be continuing our theme of intercepts in standard form. Or some will be in slope-intercept form as well. Alright, but this is very similar to the problems we did yesterday. So for these, we have to solve for the x and y intercept. And again, that is very easy. What we have to do is plug in 0 to the different values. So to solve for the y-intercept, you plug in 0 in for x. So it'll be 4 times 0 minus 6y equals 12. And again, we are plugging in 0 into x because the x value of a y-intercept is always 0. So that is why we're putting it in there. All right, so now that is 0 minus 6y equals 12. And since this is 0, you can just forget about that. All right. So this operation, negative 6y, is multiplication. So the inverse of that is division. What we do to one side, we do to the other. So our y-intercept in this case would be 0 and negative 6. All right, now let's try solving for our x-intercept. So again, same thing. Our x-intercept, the y value is always 0. So you can plug in 0 in for y. And just easily solve from there. So 6 times 0 is 0. So we don't have to bring that down. So we have 4x equals 12. Once again, this is multiplication. So we are dividing using our inverse operations. What we do to one side, we have to do to the other and balance it out. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. So our x-intercept would be 3, 0. So now, if you're going to graph these, you can draw your intercepts, the y at 0 and negative 6, and the x at 3, 0, and just draw your line going through both points. And that's how you're able to graph that. All right, now, so if we're looking at these word problems, let's just look through at the first one really quick. So a bamboo plant is growing 1 foot per day. When you first measure it, it is 4 feet tall. All right, so this is asking you to write an equation to describe the height, y, and feet of the bamboo plant x days after you measure it. All right, so if you're thinking about your equation, this should be in slope-intercept form. So for this first one, right, the max height it will grow is y, wherever y. So you can do your y equals, and let's see, the bamboo plant grows x days after you measure it. Okay, but as we see, when you first measure it, it is 4 feet tall. So we know we're going to be adding 4 to however much it grows. So now our x value for how many days, and then how much does it grow per day? That is 1 foot. So there you have your equation for the problem. So all you have to do is use the same steps and solve for the y-intercept or the x-intercept if it was asking for that. All right, so we're going to look at one last thing really quick. So for these equations right here, okay, you do the same steps. You solve for the x-intercept, the y-intercept, and see which graph matches up to each equation. And again, for all of these equations, you can just follow the steps we did, solving for the x and y intercept to solve for these equations as well. All right, have a great day, 8th grade, and enjoy your Thursday.